I want to talk to you about some of the new rule changes. I saw your post the other day, and you're certainly excited about the replay assistants being able to help out in terms of roughing the passer and intentional grounding. What do you think about those rules?
I think that was really important because I think the roughing the passer cost so many guys games and crucial moments, and now those to be reviewable or over called with the help of the people up top, because even the people up top would say, "Oh, that's not a roughing the passer." So I think that was a very important rule. And I said that last year. I was like, man, that was one thing I was hoping they would change, is making that a reviewable play. Because to say that's a one man's decision call is on those crucial moments was too important.
Now, if they could only help with holding, right?
Right. I think they should change holding to like a 5-yard penalty. I don't think they constantly want to call 10 yards. And you even said they want to score more. They openly, publicly said we want to score more, like we want more points and stuff like that. So they're just going to keep this offensive league going.
I remember when the XFL kickoff setup came out, and I was like, man, that's really interesting. What do you think about the new kickoff rule?
I think it's going to take away those guys who really strive on special teams, guys who make their money there. It might not be as important a position. They might want shorter, faster guys, maybe take away that linebacker guys that's on the cusp of, do we add them to the roster, do we not, do we need size, do we need that guy that's going to come down and thump something. So I think that's terrible for some of these guys who are on that cusp and really make their money off all those special teams. But, you got to thrive at the three others now.
They're saying that it's a move for safety. Do you think it will make that particular place safer for you guys?
Well, can you say it's a move for safety? I mean, over the past, I would say every game I played in, there's been more kickbacks than anything.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of returns. Yeah. I actually heard this is devolves to be more returns.
Yeah, that's what they want. That's the other thing, right?
They want more returns instead of touchbacks. So I think it's a childish game, but at the end of the day, we can complain, but we're still going to play, right?
No doubt. All right, let's talk about your defense. Mike Zimmer coming in to take over. What are your thoughts in terms of him coming in and what he can do with your defense?
I'm excited. It's always good to get a fresh start. I just hate to see everybody go. A lot of love lost in the building. You got to build new relationships, but that's part of the business, same as players and us coaches. You can't really control what the higher-ups do. You just got to be prepared and learn how to connect and grow a relationship with these guys to win a championship.
Have you had a chance to talk to Zim yet about what your role might be?
Yeah, we had a couple of small conversations, but it won't pick up more to OTAs. They're still figuring it out. They're still going through a lot of film over the last 3 years about what they need and what they want to see. And I'm pretty sure they need a draft and things like that.
I know you'll do whatever the coaches ask, but in your mind, how do you want your role to play out? Because we've seen you excel in a lot of versatile ways. How do you envision your role moving forward?
Yeah, I just wanted them to move me around, keep me flowing, off the ball, on the ball. I just want him to use, use all my gifts that I was blessed with.
How do you view the new voice that he will bring in? Because listen, I know I worked here when he was here, right? He's a stickler. He holds everyone accountable. He's direct. How do you think you and your teammates will receive the new style of message that he will deliver?
In the end, we're grown men. We get paid a lot of money, and a lot of people pay a lot of money to come see us. So if we can't be accountable, if we can't take hard conversations and that type of stuff, then I don't think this is the sport for you. Or I don't even think you should be a Cowboy or NFL in general. So I don't mind that. We need more accountability. We need that. So I look forward to it.
Free agency, we've seen the Cowboys haven't done much. They've lost some starters in the process. How do you view where the team is and the makeup of the team now?
I think we're good. We lost some pieces last year, and everyone said we would be a negative team. At some point, we gotta admit some guys know what they're doing. We had 9 All-Pros. So at some point, you can't be big in free agency. So I understand the business side of it as much as I try to look into it and study it. So I don't think we're missing too many. We gotta trust the draft. We gotta trust in guys stepping up. We gotta trust the people from the past, because and then you got some big time moneymaker players, and they have to come up in big moments, and we got to make people around us better, right?
No doubt you do. And I mean, listen, you follow the NFL, right? And I respect the fact that you keep up with all of it. Is there just a little part of you that's a little jealous of what the Eagles continue to do?
You know, the Eagles do a good job because they have a lot of short-term deals. You know, Darius Slay's there for 2-3 years. 2 years, they signed 2 years there, 2 years there. So they're not held against the cap. And once your guarantee's up, you could be let go at any point. So a lot of guys over there, they had a lot of vets. They got a lot of older guys who just signed a 1 and 2 year deal. So the Eagles done a good job for what they have and managed to do.
Your defense, with you leading the way, a lot of times has taken so many steps forward, and they did so under Dan Quinn, who I know you were really tight with. Mm-hmm. What do you think it's going to take from that defense to take these next steps, to continue to excel and be even better than you have been?
Like you said, just being accountable, limiting penalties. They're striving for greatness, man. We need everyone to lock in. Sometimes we could get caught up because, a lot of people could live in a me world, an ego world, instead of just a we world. And, and it's tough because some guys want to get paid, some guys want to, have that dream of being the main guy, the main focus. But in the end, you got to learn how to put those identities to the side and play together.
You mentioned it. You talked about trusting the draft and how important that will be for this team moving forward. I mean, listen, you came in and you played so well, Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. You also earned All-Pro honors. How difficult will it be for some of those rookies coming in, trying to make an impact, not to your level, but just enough to try and take this defense to the next level?
How difficult? I don't think it's difficult. Once you get in and you get around a great group of guys between me, D-Law, you still got some other great vets, whether if we draft corners, even if it's linebackers, you got a lot of good guys that's still here that can help them and mold them, and they should take jumps.
You mentioned it, right? Because you're leading me to my next questions. I appreciate it. It's like Micah does this. It's like he has his own podcast. I happened to watch your podcast with CeeDee Lamb at the Super Bowl. It was really interesting work, and Cowboy fans, I know a lot of you have already watched it, but if you haven't, please do so. You talked about the leadership and how you guys have to step up, especially you as a leader. How do you think that role will evolve for you?
It evolves tremendously because I think at the same time, people forget they be wanting young guys to be leaders, but, you got to put time served in. You got to earn your stripe, earn your right to speak, and lead by your actions. And I think oftentimes, at least from my perspective, guys like me, when you look up to guys like D-Law, who's been around so long, and Word and influence means so much, and Tyron's still there, and all these other older veteran guys are still there. It's hard to lead because you look up to those guys. Your mind says like, man, they know more. They're not more knowledgeable, but as they keep going on and you keep rising, it's like, it's your turn now. So I think we all at that time. I think CD had Coop, and then he was learning a year how to be a true leader, and he had MG there, and you had all these big time names that you're like, man, like, where do I fit in? How do I kind of pivot? But I think more and more it's showing that it's our time now.
What kind of leader do you want to be? What do you think are the assets that a really great leader brings to the NFL?
I think a great leader that brings to the NFL is, a guy that puts his teammates above, makes everyone around him better. Everyone looks to him in time of, man, what's going to happen? That time of who's going to calm us down, who's going to set us up to get a stop or, create a turnover, things like that. So I definitely think I can be that guy.
How do you describe the weight of expectation that comes along with being a Dallas Cowboy?
I don't think there's a weight of expectation. When you truly believe you're meant for it, you're meant for it, I think pressure is a privilege. So, I don't think it's an expectation. I think they always say it's a privilege, not a right. And I truly do believe that it's a privilege to wear the star. It's a privilege to even step on the field. There's not too many people that say they can play in the NFL. So if you feel like you got a high expectation, you need a reality check, because making a lot of money and doing something you love isn't hard. You just got to put the work into it.
And then the responsibility that comes with that.
Exactly.
How do you describe that?
The responsibility, I mean, you have a responsibility no matter what job or field you're in. You can't run away from the responsibility, whether it's waking up, whether it's working hard, putting extra overtime, putting time when everyone's gone, everyone's missing. It's not meant to be average, so it's a privilege, not a right. And you got to earn that right every year, every moment, every snap. And that's just how I look at it.
There is so much talk about this franchise, especially with all the national sports TV shows. And I do like the way that you hold some people accountable with some narratives that are kind of, I'd say, off base. What started you in terms of doing that? When did you see that as, I want to hold the media people accountable, just like they try and hold us accountable to the fan base?
Yeah, I just look at the perspective is know where you live at, and that's analogy is I feel like I would know what defenses we're in. I mean, everyone knows film, but you'll know adjustments, how we're being coached, what is being taught in the room, what is being spoke about, what's the game plan. No one knows that, except for the people in the room. So I see all these narratives, all these push talks of these guys putting out things to the media, and people don't understand the influence of voice. People are listening to it, they egg on, and it creates a harsh reality for some fans. And the fans, they listen to this stuff and they create a narrative about you. So now you got, so people don't realize, the media people realize is that, they say something, and now you got 1,000 or hundreds of thousands of people in your DM on social media tagging you, messaging you, saying you suck, you don't know how to play ball, you should just die, or whether it's racism or whatever it is. Yeah. But that drives it. And I don't think people realize the thing they say, how it affects and how powerful their words are, because what are people who look up to people on TV, their voice of recognition. So they're like, this guy can't be wrong. This guy, they believe in that. So I don't think people realize what their words actually mean. So on my pod, I try to produce more of a positive outcome, positive look. That I would say it's not always truth, because even me, I don't know what's going on. But from my perspective of what I go through at my daily job, I feel like I got a better understanding of what's going on.
It sounds incredibly draining to go through it. How do you make sure that you can keep it positive?
Just always thinking about what you say. I think everyone's passionate, whether you're a fan, whether you're a player, whether you're coaching, you're passionate about, wanting to win. I don't think people realize we all want to win, but sometimes it just don't work like that. Sometimes people got your hand, you've been out coached, you've been outplayed, and that's just the reality of it. Sometimes the refs is on the other team's side. There's a lot of circumstantial and a lot of things that go into these games. So I feel like for me, I just always try to say, not bash a man or a woman or whatever it is, but say, hey, they might not be knowing this because of this. They might not be. I play devil's advocate.
Yeah, no doubt. Last thing, because I make it a point to make sure that when I disseminate things through my platform, that it is truthful, and that's at the root of what I'm trying to find out. It's important to me. It's why I got into this, and it's why I've been in it for 30 years. So with that being said, what is your message to Cowboys fans? Because we have seen this team reach certain ceilings during the regular season, and it's been tough for you guys to play that same level in the playoffs when it matters most. What do you think will be the key to you guys unlocking that ability to play your best in the biggest moments?
Yeah, it's tough. Because, people always say not playing your abilities, but I would say, my rookie year we lost by 6, and there was a fake, some janky stuff at the end of the game, and next year we lose by 6 after holding the Niners to under 20 points and doing what we do, and then we beat Brady, and then the Packers was obviously the worst one. I don't necessarily say that we aren't playing to our abilities, because there are close games, there are stretch games. But I do think there's tendencies, right? And if you see the Super Bowl this year is the 49ers didn't make that many mistakes all year, right? And then to get into that game, it's penalties, it's fumbles, or whatever it may be. sometimes I don't think you can control. Like, you can control the penalties, control that, but it's how you react and how you overcome it. And I think we could do a better job and try to control those tendencies that happen. And that's why I'm excited about the more accountability that's bringing to our team, because if you see something happening, eventually it needs to stop, right? Mm-hmm. And I would say something I've noticed in my 3 years is that the things that carried from regular season carried to postseason, and it was just never adjusted and never. And that's something to me that I speak about, but I think it goes missed oftentimes. How much things carry. If you don't drop the dead weight, you'll sink right with it. So that's just something I think can help us, because I don't think people are better than us. I don't think people are doing more, because look at, we're about to get a stop that first drive. Instead of 7, what we get? A penalty. And then we're 3rd and 5 on the goal line. Instead of that, what do we get? A penalty. So the narrative is, people will say that they're better, we're not doing it, but it's the penalties, it's the little things. That's the difference between a champion and a loser. And I don't care what no one says. I don't care how far you go. If you're not holding a trophy, you're a loser. I don't care if you're an NFC champion. People don't count accolades for NFC champion. They count themselves for a Super Bowl champion. That's the only thing that holds weight in this game. So to me, we got to drop the dead weight, man. And that's what I mean when it comes to culture. Because some people say, oh, it's fine. I make this amount of plays. I do this amount of things. But in reality, it's not fine. It's not okay. We got to be better. We got to cut the dead weight. We got to culturally hold everyone accountable and fix these things. I mean, look at the Eagles game when we lost in Philly. What happened? Holding on the 2. Now we're back 30 yards. Then it's offsides. And then it's, holding again. I mean, it's just so many things that we're such a better team than we're putting on. But it's just like, who's going to hold it accountable? How do you guys really want to win? Like, these are things you should be fixing in camp, but it's carrying all year. So to me, people may overlook it, but those are the things that make you a champion, I mean, even the Bills game, right? D-Law, and I'm not saying D-Law's fault, but we get a ruffle pass, now it's 7 points. It's just so many moments throughout the season. I'm like, bro, these are the things that's changing the whole thing in this game. These guys aren't better than us. They just got more momentum, and then now you're trying to catch up. And when you're trying to catch up and chase, what does that do? Produce turnovers or produce force instead of just playing your game. So that's just my perspective about this.
No, listen, that's well received. Attention to detail is vital to be the best of the best, especially in that league. I'll leave you with this, and I thought it was interesting, and I do want to get your take on it. I recently had a chance to sit down with Stephen Jones at an event, at a luncheon, kind of like the one we're going to do today. He said he thought part of the issue was confidence. And his point was trying to get off to better starts in some of these big games. Do you see that as an issue at all? Or do you think it would just help in terms of not putting as much pressure on you that would, force some of those mistakes you talked about?
And nothing against Steven or go against him, I really wouldn't say it's confidence. Because in the end, you should have confidence in your players. You should have confidence in your game plan. And that's what coaching is that, I think every time I step on the field, I think I'm the best player. And I think every time the ball goes in the air, Trayvon Diggs believes he's going to get an interception. I think Deron Bland thinks that. I think in this sport, you wouldn't be here without confidence. Now, where the confidence lays in, do you trust your coaches? Do you trust your teammates? Do you trust not your best superstars, but do you trust the people that you believe might be a liability? Do you put more support and things around those players who may not be as confident? I think one thing with the Stars, we boast and we push our best players. We push, where we're strong at. But, I think the great warriors and the great coaching always finds the weak warriors. They find the people who are mentally tough. And I think you have to do a great job of getting everyone mentally tough. So I think confidence is obviously a great thing. But you really wouldn't be in the NFL without confidence. You go through a lot of trials and tribulations before you get to this point, and especially in those big games. So I think the confidence. I mean, maybe that's them. Maybe they don't have confidence if they don't start off good. Knowing what they have and what they've seen, I think that's where that stems from. But I think we all see the same things.